What's going on, folks? This is Mike from Techaholica, and today I want to do a follow-up video to the previous video about the blue Snowball microphone. Now, when I first made that video, I was able to get my microphone up in about an hour using the instructions that I specified in that video. Well, later on, I ended up upgrading my USB hub, and when I tried using the microphone on that hub, it just all went to hell. And I was able to get it to kind of work off and on. I would basically just unplug, uninstall my drivers, and then reboot and reinstall and go through the whole process. It would work for a little bit, but at some point it would mess up again. And all kinds of issues happen where even my webcam would stop working, or there'd be some kind of interference between the webcam mic and the blue Snowball mic, so that they both wouldn't work. Neither one was showing up. So I just found out recently what the issue was, and it didn't click on me at first, but it's very important that you are using USB 2.0. So when I bought my new hub, my old hub was USB 2.0, my new hub was USB 3.0, and I was plugging into a USB 3.0 port, and when I was plugging my microphone to that, it just had all kinds of issues. Well, once I unplugged it from that port and I plugged the microphone directly into the computer, into a USB 2.0 slot, it just worked immediately, So if you're having issues, make sure you're using a USB 2.0 port, and if you don't have any, you can buy some USB 2.0 hubs, and that'll hopefully solve the problem. Because I was using a USB 2.0 hub on a USB 3.0 port, and it worked just fine. Another thing to keep in mind is that I think there's problems with having when you add new USB devices. So what kind of kicked off the whole problem was that I had my printer, and it wasn't plugged in originally, and I plugged that into my port. And then after I did that, the microphone went out and I couldn't get to work again, So when you're installing your microphone, you might want to make sure that you have all your USB devices plugged in and installed ahead of time. Make sure that your blue Snowball microphone has been uninstalled and you've deleted the drivers, and kind of start from scratch, right? So do all the other USB devices first, and then the very last thing you should do is the blue Snowball microphone. And when you use that microphone, always use it on the same port that you had it before. I found that when I plugged it from one port to another port, that it broke again. It had all kinds of issues, So make sure you're using the same port, and make sure that that port is the USB 2.0. And also want to point out that here on the actual blue Snowball microphone site, that they have a thing about, is the Snowball compatible with Windows 8, 7, and Vista. It says yes, it is, but only for the newer versions. If you have an older version that was created between July 2007 and January 2009, then it won't be compatible. And it says to look for the serial numbers, and any Snowball manufactured after 2009 will not have a serial number. Well, I can't find the serial number on mine, so I'm assuming mine was made after 2009, but I still had all kinds of issues getting it to work initially, so this may not be entirely accurate. But if you have an older one, that might be part of the reason why some of the instructions that people are giving you, but that I'm showing you, and the people trying to help you with, that aren't working, is because you have a really old microphone, and you have to go through a whole different process to get that working. So just keep that in the back of your mind, that that some of these things will work because they're a newer microphone. Also, your computer has a big deal with it too, right? So every computer's different, so it's going to work differently with everybody. So I guess don't get frustrated if you can't get it to work. Just keep playing around with it. A whole lot of trial and error. Even when I was using the 3.0 port, I was able to get the microphone to work for small bits at a time by just uninstalling everything, reinstalling, kind of going that whole path, rebooting a whole bunch, and eventually it would work after enough time. So hopefully that'll help you out, guys, a little bit. And if you want, I'm going to put a link here to this a very cheap USB 2.0 hub. And this hopefully will be what you might need if you don't have a USB 2.0 port that you can use. So hopefully this is helpful. And I'll talk to you guys later. See you.